Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my beautiful little lovelies out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delish. And that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are in the world. So, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? The time is 18 minutes past 12 in our old afternoon in our old England, my delicious babies, on this 7th of July 2026. The sun has got his hat on, hip 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 hooray. Yeah, it started off overcast, my delicious babies, but it's really starting to brighten up now. I've still got a little bit more painting to do, but we are getting there. We are getting there. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, what do I have for you today? I haven't seen my beautiful dear little, not in that way, not in that way, my beautiful dear little Syrian family yet to see if anything has been done about the putrid effing landlord. Okay, nobody should have to live in those conditions. I will not take down my video and I will not take back my swearing. Okay, it really peed me off. Okay, my delicious babies, because for myself too, I have experienced bad landlord or landwoman. Okay, my delicious babies, in my decades. Okay, my delicious babies, and one way or another anyway. There's always somebody watching something. This is just, figure of speech is just the way I talk. And, well, at the end of the day, so some, I believe, do not like to believe in karma. Well, I do. Okay, so one way or another, you know, come rain or shine, you know, they get their comeuppance. That's the thing, isn't it? You can walk away and then you could hear something, years late. Well, yeah, never needed to stumble there. You could hear things years later. Well, they must remember what they've done while they've been on this earth, how they have behaved, how they have treated others through greed and materialism. Okay, what's the point in having a flat, or what's the point in having a house or any other kind of property, whether it be a boat, whether it be a caravan, whether it be land? What's the point in having it if you're not going to maintain it? But then you go out to the world like, oh, I'm the big I am. You know what I mean? Bigging it up when you treat your tenants like shit. Do you follow what I'm saying, my delicious babies? Yes. So no, I'm very passionate about these kind of things, you know what I mean? Especially when you've got beautiful, dear little Syrian families now who never asked to come to another country. That's like myself going, which, of course, thankfully I would not be in that position, uh, well, unless somebody bombed our country or something, my delicious babies. Anyway, I'm not saying that for any other reason. I'm just, giving an example. That's like myself going, to a different country and, having to live, there we are, in a den of inequity. Because that is how my beautiful, dear little Syrian family's feeling, my delicious babies, and they shouldn't have to. I mean, you're living in England, but the problem that we got, my delicious babies, before I give out my two pieces of information today, the problem that we got, my delicious babies, is this, is that you got too many landlords and too many land women, okay, where they purchase these properties, okay, and rather than just spend a little bit of ching, 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 just to get it up to scratch and, for it to look all nice and delicious, okay, because clearly they wouldn't live like it themselves. Do you know what I mean? Okay, 9 times out of 10, they're usually living in a big F-off house somewhere. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, and then letting others live like shit, like I said. Okay, but we've got too much of this. I mean, I've gone to go and view properties in the past, my delicious babies, and I says, well, look at the wires. I mean, you've got wires on floors. I mean, ones talk about when you walk outside, or you could break a leg. Rewind and start again. You could break a leg, or you could, break your arm or something like that now then. But in the home, there we are, there are so many hazards. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to rent a property out with all wires all on the floor, totally exposed, okay, my delicious babies, that's not very sociable, is it? You trip over, you could, smack your face off the ground. You know what I mean, my delicious babies, okay? And they seem to think that this is perfectly, there we are, acceptable. My delicious babies, you know what I mean? There's still loads of them now, there we are, and I know it. Okay, I do not need to talk to anybody to know this. They're not doing yearly checks with the gas or anything like this now then. Do you know what I mean? Or coming round and checking anybody's electrics. They're not doing it. But I was talking to, I've talked to a couple of landlords actually in the past couple of weeks. Not in that way, not in that way. And because something's changed, they have to give this, paperwork out, okay? And if they do not do it and give it to the tenant, then the landlord themselves, they then get a fine of $7,500. Okay, my delicious babies now spoke to another landlord who, well, at the end of the day, I mean, he was saying that, what did he say? Is it something like 55% goes to our putrid governments or something like this? I said, well, why don't you just go and, get a couple of apartments in Gibraltar or somewhere like that, so you don't have to pay tax or anything? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, this particular landlord, he's because he's got a number of properties, KMR, delicious babies, and he said that so far, because I said, well, I hope that I said whoever moves in, I said are going to be decent, because why should myself or anybody else have to live amongst somebody who doesn't respect? You know what I mean? They do not respect or respect. To where? You know what I mean, Mads, little babies, okay? But he was telling myself that 40, different applicants have applied to move into the flat, and not one of them have passed. So they haven't passed, which I can assume, credit checks or anything like that. Well, after credit checks, I couldn't give figures F anyway. Do you know what I mean? I know that they all talk about, your social credit system and all that. Okay, yes, we're aware of all that. It's got hair. But the fact of the matter is, man, to little babies, no, I couldn't give figures F anyway. Do you know what I mean? Why should any of us be put on a social credit system with our social credit score? They've been doing this, what was that one called? Flipping, they had it out years ago. Oh, I forgot what it's called now. Okay? Is it called? I could have it wrong. Please don't quote me. Is it Experian or something? Anyway, in our old England, Mards, delicious babies. Anyway. And, the fact of the matter is that, if you have a certain credit level, well, you can go and spend away, can't you, Mards, delicious babies? But let me get back to the matter in hand. The fact of the matter is, yeah, well, what is that telling you at the moment, Mards, delicious babies? Because I know what it's telling myself. That one's, for many, clearly desperate, to get somewhere to live, okay? And especially on a very nice, pleasant road like the one that we live on, myself and my beautiful little babies now, okay? That what it is, they want to be able to live in, somewhere like this. Do you know what I mean? Okay, my delicious babies, but, probably, through no fault of their own, you know what I mean? Something's gone wrong with a credit system or whatever it could be. It could be a number of different reasons what's gone on. So right now he's got one flat sitting empty, but he's doing up another 3. No, the other one, no, he's done up the other one. He's just done another one, and then he's got another 2. And I do not know if he's got any others. He might have them, he might not, I don't know. But the point of the matter is, my delicious babies, okay? The main part of what I just wanted to get out to yourselves is that, yes, it is a struggle. You know, I mean, just up the road from myself, right? They never put any, like, I've just put my own fences and everything right in my garden, because anybody who's very kind enough to watch my previous videos, my delicious babies, my dear neighbours, you know, upstairs, the one neighbour, well, you know, seem to like these 6 foot fences. Well, I do not like them. Okay, my delicious babies, and I believe that, you know, it should be in line with other gardens, you know what I mean, which it was originally. But over time, the fences were getting all damaged and everything, because, you know, the little birdies have a pecking order, you know what I mean? And of course, they're calling, you know, then they're sort of wiping their beak and everything, you know, and they get damaged. So then eventually you have to get new ones, you know what I mean, my delicious babies. So, but the point is, this particular flat that I'm talking about, my delicious babies, well, out in the back garden, what they done, something that I personally got an itchy nose, that I cannot stand. Sorry about that, my delicious babies. Is these flipping stones? I flipping hate them. Honestly, with a flipping vengeance. I cannot stand flipping. You know, they just put these stones down, right? So they put them in the back garden. Never even put a new fence to go around the back garden. Okay, it's got like older slabs, a lot older than mine, because I paid for these as well myself. Okay, and this cost me 500, kachinga monkey. You know what I mean? My delicious babies. And put a cheapo kitchen, cheapo bathroom in, and they're charging £1,000 a month. My delicious babies, you know what I mean? Now, over the back, where there's a lake, it's a beautiful lake. It's just my beautiful, delicious little Rube Tuesday. It's very rare we ever go around there, because she just doesn't like the energy. I can walk into the entrance to the park and she just wants to come back out again. Because like I said before, there's been a lot of different things gone on over the decades, you know, that I've read up about and everything. Plus, you know, they've let off years ago very unsavoury, not so friendly, what we call our beautiful little sons and daughters. Well, these ones were not so very nice and beautiful. They sort of ripped apart other of our beautiful little babies now. So that is truly tragic and awful. Okay, not only for the beautiful little baby, but for the beautiful little owner as well. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, plus, you know, very sadly, I have read up there have been suicides over there over the decades. So my beautiful little Rube, she just doesn't like the energy of it. But nevertheless, it just looks so beautiful. So every now and again, I might do a little shorty video, you know, just to show you the beautiful swans and beautiful ducks and beautiful geese and, you know, beautiful seagulls and, well, I think it's a little fly or something on the back of me. On my back, baby, sorry. Anyway, but they say, right, and this is for the upstairs flats now, my baby. So they say it's a lake view. Okay. That doesn't mean yes. Okay, my babies, it's not a lake view, because for a start off, you cannot even see the lake, because the Birmingham City Council, my babies, are meant to so many times a year, you know, like with the all of the bushes and everything. Well, they're supposed to trim them, but they seem to come round, I don't know, probably once every 4 years or something, you know what I mean? Mad issue babies. And of course, that's what one's supposedly council tax is paying for. But so they're not getting that. But over the back, they're charging 900, ka-ching, ching, 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 ching. Do you see what I mean? Because it's by the lake. Do you follow me, my delicious little babies? It's just like if you, say, put let's just say a pair of curtains in a flat or in a house and maybe a bit of lino, well, that's classed as furnished. How does that work then, my delicious little babies? You know what I mean? So that means they can charge even more rent. So this is what we're dealing with, Marslish babies. But when I was talking to your man there now, then to do with these rented properties, I said, well, I said, how can it be? I said that landlords and landwomen, I said, because these flats personally are only worth 60 grand each. And by the way, that's not Curdin, my delicious babies. This is exactly what I said to him when I was out walking my beautiful delicious Ruby Tuesday, because he was in his car. Okay. And I said, so how does it work with how much landlords and landwomen are charging? But do you know something? No matter how he tried to swing it, he could not answer me directly that to the question that I'd asked. He couldn't answer it. You see what I mean? Because deep down, isn't it? Come on, let's get real. These landlords and landwomen, right? They know they can take the effing P. You see what I mean? Just like they're doing to my beautiful, not in that way once again, my beautiful dear little Syrian family. So, I mean, how much is he getting? Just joining the dots. He's probably getting, what, 700 probably for that property, to have big crack down the wall and everything like this for the rain to come in. No, I'm not going to let it go. In fact, I'm going to talk to when I next see him, because I waved, not in that way. When I waved to him, he owns a flat upstairs, and I'm going to ask him if he can have a word with your man there now who owns that flat. Okay, my delicious baby. So I'm not going to let it go. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do anything. You know what I mean? I'm just simple things. If I can get to speak to your man there myself, I will. You know what I mean? And I'd ask him a simple thing, a simple question. I say, would you live like it? Would you like to wake up when it's pouring down with rain to have all of the rain, coming through? Would you like to live in the cold and not have no hot water? Would you like to live like that? You know, I should imagine, being a man, he's probably has a beard or a stubble also. I said, would you like to wash yourself or shave your beard in cold water? Simple thing, man. Just ask the man a question. Ask him a number of questions, see whether the little bee can answer it. So no, I won't let it go. I will not. Like I said, about my flipping landwoman, she's a right bitch. And I take back nothing. I take back nothing that I say. What a bitch. And she never done a damn thing for myself. So, what did I do? I paid her the rent, and I told the bitch to abort race. I said, I pay you what I feel that the flat is worth. And even then, it wasn't even worth that. But because I needed to stay there at the time, I said, I'll pay you what I feel it's worth, which sometimes would be 400, sometimes would be 450. But if she'd have just played the game from the beginning, if I'm paying and signing a contract for 525, well, at the end of the day, if my boiler sets on fire, whatever happens, right, could be anything, right, then she must come out and do the repairs, get someone to come and do it, isn't it? Don't buy the properties if you cannot maintain them. That is simple things, what I'm just telling you all, my delicious babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes? See, I could have kept my flat that I bought when I was 23 and sold when I was 26. I could have kept it, rented it out. You know, I had a beautiful, dear little close circle of friends. I said, why do you just not rent it out? I said, no. I said, I just don't want it round my neck. You know what I mean? Because you got to come out, you got to, there was nothing wrong with it because I had all of the boiler done, I had everything done, you know what I mean? I paid for it myself. And for most of it, I got it done for free. It's not what you know, so do you know what I mean? I was very blessed for that. I'm very thankful. But the fact of the matter is I just didn't want it hanging around my neck for the next 25 years. You know what I mean, Mart's delicious babies, okay? So I just let it go. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I want my narrowboat. But, so I could just live freely. I mean, okay, even with the flipping narrowboats now with the canals, I've heard a long time back, yes, stumbled, rightfully so. They used to hardly charge nothing, like for travelling on there or living on there in a boat. Well, now the councils, didn't take them long, did it, to get wind of it? And so they charge a little bit more, ching, 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 ching. You know what I mean? So it's like wherever you go, isn't it? They just do not want you to live in peace, love, and harmony, to live wonderfully, deliciously free. No, they want to sting you at every effing angle, man. Do you see what I mean, Martlish babies? Is this what we're going through? Well, hopefully, because I always have a positive mental attitude, Martlish babies, that hopefully things will turn around. Because like I said before, and I repeat again, we have been run by a effing mafia in the world, Martlish babies. Now, mafias, correct me if I'm wrong, which I do not believe I am, wasn't it so that one time, they're meant to protect you or whatever else? Well, these aren't protecting. They're just damn dirty thieves, man. That thief your money. That's what they do. They're little tea leaves. You see what I mean, Martlish babies? This is what we're dealing with. Nobody should have to live like it. And I was listening to another video the other day, and like I say, I've got to get on just giving this information out, Martlish babies, because I've got to get on with my painting. But I was listening to a video the other day, and they were talking about, I can't remember exactly, but that doesn't mean no. Just got an itch again. Where they're talking about, we come here and words to effects. Can't remember which video, and I've listened to flipping that many. But basically, we're meant to be. Well, in other words, we're meant to be, ruled by somebody, and all this crap. No, we're not. No, we are not. I am so sick and tired of listening to this shit. No, we're not. When we come into the world, we come in freely, innocently. We do not come in to be enslaved and to be run by greedy, ka-ching hungry, money hungry, flipping ones who seem to think now then that we are something that should be wiped off their shoe. How effing dare they, man? How effing dare they? We are all talented. We are all special. We are all superbly brilliant at what we do in our life. Just to wake up in the morning is a blessing. No thanks to these poisoning us every which way, how mad, little babies. But still, we are strong. Okay, and they do not want us feeling that way, mad, little babies. They want us to feel like we are totally useless. No, we are not totally useless. Okay? We are wonderful. We are brilliant. There are some who, are extremely creative. Some mankind. Okay? And these never minded, did they, when they want to depopulate the world? These never minded, did they, when they were getting all their furniture done and they were getting their cars made and everything? No. They didn't mind then, did they? Did they use their own damn hands to do it? No, they never. All that they did was print, ka-ching, ching, 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 ching. So that it means that you and I, little babies, if we was to do it, oh, wow, we get the book thrown at us. But no, they can just give it out and then enslave everybody. You see what I mean, little babies? Well, times, there we are going to be changing. There we are. Oh, yes, they are. Okay, little babies, and, more and more are seeing it now, little babies. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so let's get on to the first one, shall we, little babies? And by the way, that's just my view. I'm a woman with a view. She'll have me effing view. But we're more and more seeing. How can they not see it? It's quite obvious in everybody's boat races. It could not be any more obvious. And that's what I'm saying for most. When is a penny going to drop? When are they going to ding, ding, dong, dong, use the effing noddles and say, okay, we are not getting the services, we're not receiving the services that we should be receiving. We're not being treated with love and kindness and respect, although that word is effing thrown around like no end. Oh, you've got to be kind. Oh, you've got to be really, really kind. Oh, when they're treating us all like fucking shit. And you and I have got to be kind out in the world. Mads little babies. Yes, I do agree we should be kind to each other. Yes, I do agree with that. Okay, because I believe that everybody should be kind to each other. Okay, but what causes the problems? What causes the problems is that it could be, in some cases, it could be poverty. In other cases, well, it's usually flipping greed, isn't it? You know what I mean? Somebody sees what somebody else has got. You know, I'm just talking generally, you know, could be any country, our country or anyone. You know, then they want, you know, what somebody else has, you know what I mean? Okay? And then you've got others where they could work all their lives and they still got jack shit. You know, they got absolutely, bless them, nothing to show for anything. Okay, well, anyway, is that such a bad thing? I do not really believe it is. Okay, if ones have achieved in their lives, you know, bless them for that. And I say that about anybody. But not lying little effing tour rags now, who have never done jack shit in their life, and then look down on us. Do you know what I mean, Mads, little babies? Okay, but if you look at mankind generally, we are really beautiful and lovely. Okay, you've got a terrible and awful, disgusting and putrid corruption. Okay, Mads, little babies, and you know, there we are. It will stop because there's many, many, many more now who are waking up, but you do still have that in order for the wheels to turn. A lot of flipping, some mothers do have them out there, Mads, little babies, who believe that verting is going to make all of the difference. Well, it isn't going to make any effing difference. And if ones cannot see it by now, I've got nothing more to say. One last thing, I had someone came round to give me a leaflet. You know, these couple of leaflets, and to let me know what's happening, you know, to do with our bins and, you know, what's going on there, Mads, little babies. Well, I heard off somebody that we're not going to be getting our bins emptied until every 2 weeks now. So what's all that about? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I had a good old conversation with your man there, not in that way, not in that way. And I pointed out to him, there we are, very clearly, what my thoughts and feelings are. I said, I do not want any of your leaflets. I do not want them. Oh, you know, in fact, I was really paid off. And I let him know. I said, I'm not shouting at you. I said, but I'm just letting you know. Do you know what I mean? That why must any of us have to live like this? You see, but fair play, he did listen. He did listen. So I will say fair play to him for that, he did. Okay, he probably thought, flip me, I'll never go and try to knock on her door again. No. Because you see, just cut through the bullshit. There we are. Tell it the way it damn well is. But that's the reason why a lot of channels, no disrespect, a lot of channels on YouTube, that is why they're still, there we are, the way that they are, with higher numbers and everything like this now then. Because while they're talking about politics, because you've got a lot of ticks, haven't you? Mardelistic babies in politics. And poly blood, isn't it? Yes. So, you know, while everybody's still chatty, well, that's what keeps the channels going, isn't it? Mardelistic babies, you know what I mean? So, you know, you have to see what is going on here, Mardelistic babies, and I clearly do. So anyway, Mardelistic babies, so I'm not going to ramble on anymore. But nevertheless, I'll give you man there then food for thought. Food for thought. You see what I mean? Okay, maybe to just look at things now then from a different angle. Okay. So this upload here, my Delicious Babies, happens to have 78.3 thousand subscribers. Now, it's two words together, capital W, world, capital S, spire, I'll spell that for you, S-P-I-R, two-way, R-E, world spire. Okay, my delicious babies, and this is over 36 minutes long, and the video should read urban. I'm not talking, sorry, to any of our delicious babies out there who already have seen this video. I'm talking to our delicious babies out there who have not. Urban hell, but it gets worse. Okay, my delicious babies, I'm just going to repeat this again for you, shall I? Urban hell, but it gets worse. Yes, my delicious babies. Now, I would really strongly suggest, my delicious babies, just anybody a little bit of time out the day or night, to please and thank you take a little look at this video. Okay, because so thank you for any views, for any likes, the occasional comments. But as we know, my videos never get out, but there's always someone seeing, always someone hearing. You would have heard myself, and I mentioned other channels, bless them, not in that way, not in that way, for ones to go and take a listen to. All to do with the 15-minute cities, my delicious babies, where they want everybody, like sardines. Well, I tell you what, this is something else. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, I could have advertised this, there we are, long time back. Okay, the reason why I haven't is because I'm too busy going on about other videos at the moment. Okay, my delicious babies, but yeah, I've seen plenty of these videos, very sadly. And if you could see how they're living, there's one where it's, or is that on another video? Could be on another one. I don't know. Is it on this one or another? Anyway, it's like a hotel, like this massive hotel, and they've got everybody living in. It's in other countries, my delicious babies, and the first one that they show is Haiti. Yeah, we know what's gone on in Haiti over the years, don't we, my delicious babies? Yes. But yeah, if you could see, my delicious babies, yes, how ones are having to live, my delicious babies. I mean, if you could see it, I've got to be honest, my delicious babies, I feel truly thankful and blessed, because let me tell you, it would drive me effing crackers, man. Like right next door to somebody. Like you literally, figure of speech, living on top of each other. That is how bad it is. Looking at this video, my delicious babies, and they're showing, is it 25 different places. Okay, now of course, because I want all us in 15-minute cities, my delicious babies, so that you do not go out of your little zone. Okay, I'm showing yourselves, my delicious babies, just a little bit of time out of one's day or night. Please and thank you, take a listen, because and to watch, for those who are blessed to see and hear, because if you were to let these and the little lackeys get away with things, we're certainly on our way, my delicious babies, should they ever get away with it, which they will not, but to show you how it could be. And that's in our old England, my delicious babies, okay? So, at the end of the day, I'm just pointing things out. That's all I'm doing. Okay, I sit here with my little joystick, not in that way, not in that way. It's just figure of speech. I sit here with my little joystick. I have a little look at different videos, and then I decide which ones I'm going to advertise, my delicious babies. But there's always a point to what I do, like I said. But the final one, my delicious babies. But if these could just see that what they're doing is not very sociable at all, it's certainly not for the goodness of any of our health. My delicious babies, all they want to do is stress everybody out 24/7, pee everybody off, and teeth their ka-ching, their change. Okay, my delicious babies, maybe if they could see the error of their ways, they could then see why channels like mine and thousands of others have plenty to say. You see what I mean, okay? What do they call it? Ignorance is bliss. So, as we can see, my delicious babies, so this is what we're dealing with as well. You see what I mean? Well, it's not bliss for us, is it, my delicious babies? Now then, finally. So, I mention this one every now and again, not in that way, not in that way. Capital A, Andrew, space, capital G, gold, and then space H, heretics. Okay, my delicious babies, this uploader happens to have 803 1,000 subscribers, my delicious babies, okay? So, yeah, I am seeing that the numbers are going up. Now, World Spire, that'll probably be like a one-off, okay, my delicious babies, because that's what I do. Sometimes, I just do one-offs, okay? Now, the video is just over an hour long, and the video should read the sickest industry on earth. These people profit from it. Yes, my delicious babies, I'm just going to repeat this again for you, shall I? The sickest industry on earth. These people profit from it. Yes, my delicious babies, now I'm going to close my book. They're all ticked off, okay? And we'll just have a quick discuss. Now then, my delicious babies, yeah, this is talking about apps. This is talking about WhatsApp. This is talking about all the things. Mind you, I've been long time talking about WhatsApp. Okay, but my videos just never get out. Anyway, not to worry, not to worry. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, I repeat again, there's always someone seeing and there's always someone hearing, okay? And I've noticed many changes to do with WhatsApp. Like I said, my WhatsApp, well, all of it's been sparred on, okay? Just when you think it's the end, it's not, just when you think the little spars have gone away, okay? They clearly haven't, have they? They just go quiet every now and again, okay? Mind you, when they're bugging my home inside out, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? Well, I do not agree with that either, my delicious babies, so I go through my own, let's just say, situations, my delicious babies, okay? Anyway, but getting back to the matter in hand now then, yeah, this is to do with abuse of little babies now, little bairns, little toddlers, little babies, yeah. And they go through different apps, and WhatsApp and what else is it? Instagram, Facebook. Yes, my delicious babies, and it's sickening. Anyway, I've heard an awful lot about this over the years, my delicious babies. It's truly, truly sickening. You just want to project in a bucket when you hear such putrid, nasty, dirty business. And this is even, mummies and daddies. It's all about grooming the mummy bears, the mothers, to abuse their babies. Okay, I should imagine, very sadly, I do not want to imagine it, sorry, but, it's just a figure of speech. Different types of abuse, it sounds like, to myself, my delicious little babies. What kind of mammies or daddies or carers? You heard about it a lot with some foster carers. You've got some marvellous foster carers, my delicious little babies, but you've got a lot of disgusting and putrid ones as well, my delicious little babies, believe you me. I've heard a lot over the decades. Okay, my delicious little babies. So, I mean, how can these even remain on this earth? Because to myself, my delicious little babies, because I'm not nasty at all. I do not personally, that doesn't mean yes, I do not feel that I'm nasty at all. You see, the thing with myself, my delicious little babies, what you see of myself, there we are, is what you get. Okay? I do not mince my words. I say it, there we are, as I see it. And anybody who does anything like this, like how they harm, very sadly, they're putrid as well, our beautiful little babies, animals in our country and all over the world. I believe that such filthy, dirty creatures, cretins, critters, should be eradicated from this earth. Why should they walk on our earth with all of the nasty, dirty, filthy, putrid things now that they do? Well, so because I say it out loud, there we are. It's better out than in. So because I say it, my delicious babies, okay? So, I'm not being kind. I'm not being kind. To where? You see what I mean, my delicious babies, yes? No. It's dirty, it's putrid, it's filthy, it's disgusting. And all of this, there we are, must stop. Okay? But this is going on. So please, my delicious babies, and it has been, there we are, for decades. Except for the only thing is now, my delicious babies, okay, for most, they are starting, there we are, to see and hear. And this is not, you know, what I mean is see and hear, listen to videos or read up on, do a bit of research, you know what I mean? And they're starting to see that the world is, you know, it's not such a nice place. Well, it is with the beautiful nature and all it is. And you do have some really lovely mankind. And you have beautiful dear animals, birdies, creatures great and small. Okay. But it is what is in this world, okay, which they have clearly been infected with something for some mankind. But they're not mankind, are they, my delicious little babies? They're putrid, dirty, filthy critters and cretins. And I repeat once again, that should be effing eradicated. Why should they be given the breath of life when there's others who are so kind, do a lot for mankind, do a lot for our beautiful little babies, animals, sons and daughters, everything. And very sadly, they do not get out to live out their lives. Either very sadly they pass away, or or they they're living such a poverty. Well, yeah, rightfully stumbled there. Stricken laugh. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? So they suffer, don't they? And it's usually always, there we are, the good ones. Okay, my delicious little babies. And then the wicked, now then, they continuously walk our effing earth. Can you see what I'm saying, my delicious little babies? Can you see how it rocks and rolls? So the more wicked that you are, you seem to live longer. I'm not saying that about every single who lives out to, because you can have some who live out to 100 and they could be the most loveliest soul to the earth. But you got others who will live out to a flipping 100 and have been the most nastiest little bees on this earth. I could name a number of them. But I'm going to leave my video like that, my delicious baby. It's not for any other reason. Well, actually, Henry Kissinger was one, wasn't he? You could name quite a few. Our putrid effing fake queen. Oh, mind you, ones used to get a card, didn't they? Happy birthday if they reached 100. And what does she get to? 99 red balloons, yeah. I do not believe that she passed away anyway. My delicious little babies, I reckon she's walking around in one of her poxy castles. You know what I mean? My delicious little babies, I certainly do not think that woman passed away. Okay? And I will stand by my belief. Okay, my delicious little babies. So now, everybody knows I cannot stand the poxy fake royals. I cannot stand the poxy flipping governments. No, I cannot. Because all they do is take. They never give nothing back. If they were supposed to do one good thing for us that they're supposed to do, they do jack shit. So why should anybody have any respect for them? That simple thing, I'm just asking a question. I'm entitled to my view. And I shall have my flipping effing view. And that is how I feel. And by the way, my delicious babies, when I come off the video, I'm going to be back, all nice again. You know what I mean? I'm just done saying it. There we are, the way it is. When I woke up this morning, I woke up fine and dandy, hunky-dory, tickety-boo, you know what I mean? But these topics and subjects, they really roll me. Do you know what I mean? My delicious babies, okay? So no, I'm not going to... And if anybody who watches my video, if anybody thinks I'm a bitch, good, move from a channel. Because your services is not required. What, because I'm done saying it the way it is? Ones are not a-liking. This is the thing, see? Like when one say this, that and the other, they never show another side to themselves. Everybody must remember, my delicious little babies, okay? Each and every one of us. Everybody has two sides. We can all be nasty-passy. You know what I mean? But the ones who I never trust. are the ones who act nice all the time. They're the ones who I certainly do not trust. Okay, my delicious little babies. Just thought I'd drop that one in. Anyway, my delicious little babies, so wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected, and how I love you also. Please take care of yourselves, and please try to take care of others, because we are in a bonkers, crackers, and crazy world, okay? But thank you, like I say, to anybody who takes time to listen to my video, which, like I just said earlier, will be very few. But bless you anyway. And but no, if my thoughts are something, there we are. Then I'm going to say it. And if somebody doesn't like what I've got to say, well, tough. Who gives a damn anyway? Because anybody who truly knows myself knows that there we are. I am a nice woman. You know what I mean? But get me on these subjects, and that is when you see the worm turn. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? Yes. And that's what I'm done saying. I'd rather be who I am than be false. Okay? And this is why ones just do not get it. This is why I do not get on with my dad. I love him. I'll always love him. He's my dear dad. But we do not get along. I do not get along with my sisters or anything. Because I have a different view of things. I do not walk around in airy fairyland. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? And I also found myself that, I would get on with some, and then I may not gel so much with others. Because it doesn't matter what you say, they're just going to have a different view to my view. So in life, that does happen, doesn't it, my delicious little babies? You cannot get along with every single. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't work that way. And anybody out there who seems to, live in this airy fairyland, planet Nanu, who seems to think now then, oh, yes, everybody could just say, no. No. Full of shit. Doesn't work. You find that with myself, I'll get on with somebody who's on the same level. Not in that way, not in that way. What do I mean by that? Someone who's getting ding, ding, dong, dong, what I'm saying. And very sadly, there does not seem to be many of them. Okay? So do I ever feel lonely with it? No. As long as I know what I'm talking about, there we are. Then I'm very content with that. Okay? That's probably why I never have done very well in relationships. Not that I could give a fiddler's F about that either, quite frankly. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? Because it's just not on my level. You know what I mean? They just want to live and just carry on and just live that, rolling, you know what I mean? But not prepared to listen to other points of view. You know what I mean? So I'm better on my own. And furthermore, I wouldn't want to be with anybody who was false anyway. And there's plenty of those in the world. So I'm better off the way I am. I'll just carry on doing my painting, do whatever else. I've got loads of other stuff to do anyway. And I'll just carry on with my life, you know what I mean? But I'm not just going to sit back and just like, oh, yeah, well, that's all right, that these do this and this. Because it's not all right. Little bairn trafficking is not all right. Killing animals is not all right. None of these things are all right. They're far from it, my delicious little babies. Okay? So if one's bored with what I've got to say, good, then move from my channel. I couldn't give a fiddler's F anyway. Because if ones just want to turn their head away, there we are, to what is really going on, well, I feel sorry for you. Okay? Because let me tell you, there's going to be more and more and more coming out. I'm not so sure myself that we're going to have a lot who can deal with this information, put it that way. Okay, my delicious little babies, so please, if it is sunny where you are, please enjoy it. How I love you also, okay? For the ones who do respect what I'm saying, okay? Because there will be some. They may not say it to their friends or family or whatever, You know what I mean? Because it's not the done thing. You know what I mean? But secretly, some would be like, yeah, she's banging flipping correct. You see what I mean? Okay? So that's that. You know, and for others, the only reason why they don't want to listen, because they just don't want to see reality. They just want to live in a little bubble. Well, leave them to the little bloody bubble who gives a shit anyway. Do you know what I mean? I live in my space and I'm quite happy doing that. You know what I mean? But I'm not just going to sit by and not say jack shit. I'm not going to do that either, my delicious little babies, because let me tell you, if nobody speaks out, then all these nasty, dirty, putrid things just carry on. Well, seems to myself that, like I said earlier, more and more, there we are. They're starting to notice, aren't they, my delicious little babies? So we're going to see how the flex go. Anyway, lots of love. Take care. Look after now. Love ya. Goodbye.